Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Monday edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel, as always, joined by Joel Elconin. And Dennis Dick is here. He'll be with us in about 5 or 10 minutes or so, just catching up on the morning. We got a lot to discuss. It is a short week, so we're going to talk a little bit about how that may affect any options trading or stuff later in the week. But we have not a lot of earnings this morning, but some interesting ones after the bell, some interesting upgrades today. Apple continuing to slide on more production, negative production headlines there. Some interesting upgrades. We have upgrades to Novartis, Big Lots, HP, Ring. We'll talk about all those and more in our guest today at 8:35. Kenny Glick will join the show. He's the founder of HitTheBid.com. Joel, how was your weekend and how are the S&Ps doing here this morning?
Fun weekend for Michigan football, Michigan basketball here, getting ready for the big Michigan-Ohio State game on Saturday. But we got to talk about the financial markets here, and big old range overnight, nearly a 20-point range in the S&P 500 futures. We have the number of the week on the upside, pre-market high 27.48, Friday's high right there at 48.75, Wednesday's high at 48.25. No upside until we take that level. Coming out on the downside here, your pre-market low 28.75. Not a lot in there, folks. Friday's intraday low down at 13.25. So big vacuum areas in the futures. Crude up 22 cents at 56.89. Big sell-off on Friday, but trying to hold the bottom here in crude. Our low of the move stands at 54.94. Just trying to get away from that level. Gold down 210 at 1220.90. We have silver down almost 3 cents here at 1435. And Bitcoin takes out 6,000, continues its slide. We'll probably get under 5, get under 4, maybe under 3 by Thanksgiving. 51.70. We're down $247.50. No buyers of Bitcoin or the other currencies out there. Dennis is out working through several positions here, Spencer. So
yeah,
let's,
Joel,
let's start the show.
The question I have for you is, which cryptocurrency are you going to pump to your family on Thursday?
I don't even think it's going to be a topic of discussion here. There's none. It had its run a year ago. People were talking about how much they made on it, and this year it's probably won't even be brought up. But Bitcoin, the leader, that's down, climbing under 5,000. I think Sean Udall had a target from 800 on it, but it's just a slow drip here. And kind of, what was the professor that we had on? He said he didn't think it would crash. It would just kind of drip and go away. The professor.
Yeah, that was Jim. What was his name?
Jim.
Here, I'll find it real fast.
Pot stocks.
He was at Georgetown. His name was. Oh no, I don't have it in here. That's weird. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now, but normally I can. But anyway, he caught it. He was right. Yep. He said slow fade, and that's what it was. Let's get right to let's start with Apple here this morning, because we had the headlines from the past week or so that their suppliers were cutting orders, and now we have a report from the Journal here that Apple slashed production orders on all 3 of the new iPhone models. I'll pull up a pre-market chart here. You can see it trading down a little bit just on that news here already this morning.
Is this a surprise, though? I mean,
I guess not. If the suppliers already came out, 3 of them or so in the past week came out and cut guidance. So I guess it's not a surprise, but to have the report that Apple themselves slashed their own orders, then I guess that's something.
What time did that come out?
The article says it was last updated at 4. Let me get the time here. 4:45 a.m. So I don't know when it was published, but it was updated at 4 in the morning.
Okay, because the SPOOs this morning, if you were fortunate enough to get up at 4 a.m., they were trading near the highs of the session. They were trying to take out that 27.48.75 level, and then that news came out. Let's look here. We got a pre-market low in Apple at 189.38. We are currently trading at 190. I guess you want to focus on the low of the move here. We're trading in the area of Friday's low. That was 189.50. So that's important to hold. And then 186.90. And then the low of the move has been 185.93. So it's kind of like they get hit on the suppliers and then they get hit on their actual news. And very important to hold that 3-day low of 185.93. We are still above Friday's low here. So I guess that's good news for Apple holders here. Friday's low, 189.46. Pre-market low right in that area. So let's see what happens here. 189.50. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see the close on Friday. The close was 193.53. I don't know if we could get that high today in Apple.
Jim Angel was his name, Joel.
Okay, thank you.
And let's look at some of the Apple suppliers here. So let's just go to Lumentum first. It's just the first one I thought of. So let's look at Light. Are they getting hit on this headline here?
LITE, are they going to get punished again? Yes, indeed. They are down $1.12 at 40.40. Low of the move on that big day. That was down at 37 even. Buyers stepped up the last couple days. So same scenario here. Opening into Friday's low, 40.26, and then you can see the lows from the other three sessions, 8.85, 38.42, all the way down. So maybe you're going to find some buyers here on this time. I'm not for sure, but you had the big down, the bad news, shorts that didn't cover. Maybe be looking at this as an opportunity. If you listen to Gene Munster on our show on Thursday, there's other things in the ecosystem. They're just not an iPhone company. They're a services company here. So he still remains bullish. And right now, you still just have to focus on the lows of the moves. And that was for 37 even in Light. And then who are the QROS?
Nope, close enough. QRVO was the other one that cut their.
Okay, that's flat. That's flat at 66.32. It may be offered down. Maybe we'll find that out in a little bit. Once again, the low of the move in this one, 61 even. I think this one has showed the most relative strength. That actually had a gap fill on Friday, that high at 66.83. So this one had been hit ahead of the report, but showing some relative strength. And then give me another one here.
We can go to Foxconn, Skyworks.
Yep, Skyworks. Okay. That's a big one here. Danger Will Robinson on this one, double bottom here at 70.72. So still 70.72, 70.89. Let's call 71 even. The level to keep an eye on here in Skyworks went off the board at 72.95. And this one is actually really good resistance. If you see this thing take out 73.50, matching highs at 73.38, then a high at 73.58. So take out the trio of highs there. You got a chance here in Skyworks Solutions.
Joel, let's stay with tech here, and let's just look at the semis here this morning because they're all down. And I haven't been able to find if there's a specific news catalyst or if it's just they're down for down sake. But AMD, NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductors, they're all WDC, Micron, they're all down here.
I think you go to your leader. And your leader on Friday in the carnage was NVIDIA. That sold off, got a little bit of a relief rally, but so people opened up, looked at their statements and said, holy mackerel, just sell, just get me out. We are now challenging the low of the move from yesterday, 161.61, and we're not bouncing here. So looks like we got some more work to do in the downside. Really a quiet market in here. In NVIDIA, AMD got hit on that as well. That's only trading down 20 cents. I did some work on AMD over the weekend, and I noticed that basically you got 2 weeks of matching ranges here, and you're kind of in the middle. AMD last week's high, you got 2 weekly highs right at 22 and 2 weekly lows just under 19.
So what does that tell you?
It's just trading in the middle, consolidating here. Break out above 22. I'd like it. Breaks down through 19 with momentum. I'll be looking to challenge the low of the move, and the low of the move here was in lower 16 handle, but a little consolidation in AMD. Western Digital, you said that stock was on the decline too. That took a big whoosh down on the Apple News, went to 44.30. And let's see here. Where was a low in that? 44.37 was your 2-day low. You got a nice bounce off that. So we use 44.30 as a key level. 46.60 was the close.
And what about Micron here?
Micron, let's see. Under $40, trading down 70 cents. Just trying to get off that low here. Got a buyer, a possible buyer here at 38.50, trading at 38.74. Where's all those lows come in? I'm not seeing anything. I see 3 lows at 37.50. So that if you're looking for more downside here on Micron, 3 lows between 37.44 and 37.62, and that was from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of last week.
All right, let's go to the one earnings report of note this morning here, and that is JD.com, the Chinese e-commerce website there. They reported, let me pull up my numbers here. They reported a Q3 EPS of 12 cents versus an 11-cent estimate. The net income climbed to $400 million. That's higher than expectations. Revenue $15.3 billion. Believe that is in line. Nothing there that's too crazy either on the good or the bad side, but stock is going to hit here.
Yeah, I mean, they still have the overhang here of the the CEO with the possible lawsuit. I mean, you get those kind of things, overhanging a stock, and it's really hard to recover. Then you come out with a so-so earnings report. For you JD.com traders here, you just have to look at the low of the move, and we are sitting right near there. Pre-market low 21.63. Just a few days ago, you hit 21.46. So it's very important for it to hold that 21.50 area. After that, more downside. Last month low was right in this area too at 21.58. So I'll be keeping an eye on that stock for the 21.50 really for the remainder of the week. After that, maybe you can think about the $20 level for a nice round number. I do notice back in August of 2016 that you had a monthly low at 21.22. So things seem you've had finding buyers here so far early in the session in the 21.50 area.
Anything of note on the Walmart chart? Because remember they own
that's right.
They own like 15. What's it? 12%.
Walmart. They just didn't. All big red candles here since that earnings report. Wow. They got up to 106.21. It's been straight down here, trading down another 9 cents here. Not a lot of action in it. Might get a shot at Friday's low here, 96.92, just hanging out unchanged here. So Walmart, good report, but the street didn't like it. Sold it off quite a bit. We'll see. It's actually quite a bit below where it was a report. Really took my eye off this one. So Walmart, I'm not sure where their stake. I think they may have got it in the trying to think. I think it was in like high 20s or low 30s. But not good news for Walmart.
Someone here brought up in the chat, I think it was Griffin, right? So I'll bring it up now. Facebook, sticking with the big tech theme. Another article over the weekend from another negative article, I should say, on the heels of the big one from the New York Times last week. This one where Zuckerberg apparently threatened to fire anybody who speaks to the New York Times or I think any news outlet.
Really?
But in any case, Facebook
Censorship?
Well, no, you can fire employees for anything, really.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
But they can't seem to catch a break here, Facebook.
They can't. And I mean, once things keep going south and, you get negative news, negative reports, I mean, it's hard to turn the tide here. Facebook, again, trading down 76 cents here. Challenging. He made the new low of the move on Friday. So 137.77. That was your low on Friday. You haven't reached it yet. I mean, it seems like, look at all these stocks and the SPOOs are down and everything, but everything is not back near Friday's low. So I've just continue with that theme today. S&Ps are 21 points above Friday's low. So stocks are finding support above those lows from Friday. Let's see if it can continue. Facebook, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it had to pop off the report all the way off to 155, and they just don't care. They've been selling it off. Former low of the move was 139.03. I don't think I'd get comfortable on this one. There's no super technical level here at 140, but I just think like a psychological level. The lowest close of this move right now has been 139.53. We're only 46.
Was that a Friday?
That was on Friday.
Okay.
Yep, that's been the lowest close since it made that all-time high at 218.62. That was back in July.
What about Twitter here? Kind of holding up.
Yeah, and someone just mentioned that in the other chat. I mean, what's bad for Facebook could be good for Twitter here. That's trading up 8 cents, but I mean, that stock is, it fell off hard off 2 earnings reports. I think last week's high in Twitter was 34.10, and you went off the board at 33.67 here. So kind of a tight range last week. The high, really what you need to break above is 35 in Twitter. 35.12 has been the high since its last, I think it was its Q3 earnings report. But perhaps what's bad for Facebook, good for Twitter.
And I guess let's just look at Snap. It's been a while since we looked at Snap, so let's just pull that one up. I mean, this is a dog, but $6. Oh, I did not realize it was down there.
649, just hanging out. What jumps out at me here is $7. Your last 4 of the last 5 highs between 680 and 696. So gets above 7, you got a chance to rally. Really consolidating. You have 3 or 4 or 5 lows right in the 635 area. So trading range so far here in Snap, let's call it 640 to 690.
Okay, Joel, let's go back to this PG&E story from the past. Well, it's a continuing story here, but PCG, which was probably our most discussed, is definitely the most searched stock on Benzinga Pro last week. Is one of our most discussed stocks on the show during last week, and just more headlines over the weekend about they had a second failed power line that reported that occurred the day that this second fire started. They're getting an upgrade here this morning from Citigroup, and then they're upgrading to buy, but lowering the price target to $40. So I don't know what to make of that. But Joel, what do you make of this chart here?
I think it's going to calm down here for a couple days. You had the
really,
yeah. I mean, these stocks they have these kind of moves. Is the fire? I didn't really check on the status over the weekend. Have they got it? Have they got it under control yet?
I didn't think so, but I wasn't watching super closely.
I mean, if you have a stomach for trading headline stocks, they're going to move a lot right now. The fundamentals are not good for the company. The liabilities are not good. I mean, this has happened to them before, and they managed to recover. You still need power here in California. But that big pop on Friday, it didn't get anywhere near the pre-market session high. So now you're just hanging out. I would look at 24.40. That was your close on Friday. I think you got to get back above that. Your low close for the move was 17.74, and you had a low at 17.26. I think until there's something more definitive, as far as the liabilities of the company, I think you're going to find some buyers here. I can't give you a specific level. Friday's low was 23 even. We haven't taken that out. So between 17 and 23, I mean, institutions, I would, if I was short, I would at least be trying to bring something in. And I just don't expect it to have the panic selling down to 17.26 yet. But there's headlines. If you're trading a headline stock, you have to be prepared for whatever happens. But hopefully the things will get under control, and they can mitigate the damage, and hopefully it won't be as bad as some of the predictions are.
That's a good point. It's a headline stock. It's in the news, but we don't really know anything. We don't. This entire story is still playing out, and we saw, what was it, Friday morning, where they said that they don't want to see the company bankrupt. But that one little comment,
$8 they had that thing up.
That one little comment set the thing up, through the moon, or $8, like you said. So we don't really know anything about how this will play out, it's because it's still going, obviously. So yeah, Joel said, if you have a stomach for it, okay, and if you don't, then
I don't think they're going out of business, but what do I know? No one's consulting me on this. If they have,
They're not?
if they have,
Wait. They're not asking you?
Not yet.
Okay.
From what I know, they're still going to need power in California. So
That's true.
but
You heard it here first.
Down $1.20 at 23.20. I think everyone that wanted out maybe got out on Thursday. I traded 107 million shares.
Man.
That was that doubled the volume from Wednesday.
What is the float on this thing? Let's see.
Doubled the volume from Wednesday, doubled the volume from Friday. So, people that, the big institutions or whatever that wanted to wash their hands of it, you get that flush out low. But we'll see. Some of the other utilities are holding up besides this.
517 million shares outstanding. And traded how many shares?
107 million on Thursday.
So every share traded 3 times. Oh, wow. Okay.
What's going on with Tesla? We getting any news on Tesla here?
What's going on with Tesla is I almost drove a Tesla this weekend, but I didn't. But I came very close to. It was offered, and then I didn't.
Do we have
no news I'm seeing this morning? No.
His stock's been very resilient here, trading up at 358. That's up 369. Boom. We know where we're getting back to. We're getting back to the area. Well, it's still $30 away, but from the tweet, from the fortune, can you believe it?
Wait, at what price was that tweet? Tweeted.
It was trading at like 335, 340. He tweeted 420. It went to 387.46. That was your high in August, and then things kind of come unraveled. It's $30 away from there. I mean, $30 for that stock is, it could definitely move that way. But you got to think that, everyone that's kind of got caught up in, the updraft and the downdraft here, they got to be really, a lot of people are up money on this position. And also what's interesting is it's not been a good tape. It's not been a good overall tape. And, Tesla's been strong. Not sure what the news attributing today is. Yesterday's high, Friday's high was 357.58. So you need to get that to get the gap fill. 354.31 was your close. I'm sure a lot of shorts would like to see that. And I can't that day that it made the high at 387.46, I'm trying to find another level for you here, folks. I could just give you some daily highs. Go to your daily highs in mid-August. This was after you made that high of the move, and you could see 359.20, 363, 367, and then you jump into the 380 handle if you are looking for some potential upside targets here in Tesla Motors. Tesla Inc. I'm sorry, they got rid of the motors.
Oh, they did? Oh, that's right. Okay, let's go to the ratings calendar here because we have a lot of interesting ratings on this Monday morning. Mostly upgrades, but a couple of downgrades too. Let's just start with Booking. BKNG catching an upgrade from Wells Fargo to Outperform.
Trading up $14.68. These stocks are so tough to even do technical analysis on. I think I'll just use like whole numbers and this 1900. I'll call it your 2-day high is 1899.13. If you're looking for a target, coming back on the downside. If you're looking for the closing price, 1855.32, and Friday's low at 1831.50. Here's another stock that had a good report similar to Walmart, and they just hit it. They went beyond filling the gap here. So important to get above 1900 for Booking, BKNG.
HP had their earnings on Thursday. They were good and now getting a pair of follow-through upgrades this morning from Citigroup and Credit Suisse. Both upgrading, Citigroup upgrading to buy, Credit Suisse upgrading to neutral. Both price targets in the mid-60s to mid-70 range.
All right. HP, Hammerlick in pain, trading up $1.05. Not much volume here on that print at 63.64. Just odd lots trading. Let's keep an eye on 63.60 right here, right now, where we're trading. That was your 5-day high, and then you get into the 64 handle. But we'll see. Not much volume on this upgrade. If you're looking for a target above that, 64.71 was your November 8th high. S&P's crawling back once again here, only down 570, down $6 at 27.37. Coming off that pre-market low at 28.75.
We have an upgrade ahead of earnings. Big Lot catching an upgrade here from Piper Jaffray to overweight, raising their price target from $43 to $53. I don't have the exact earnings date, but they're usually next week. Usually the last week of the earnings of the retail, which is next week. So BIG catching an upgrade here.
Okay. The stock likes to move up $1.62, 43.15 is your last print. Not a lot of big lot traders out this morning. Big lots is trading odd lots here. 153 shares, 200 shares, 100 shares. Let's see. You're getting into a big red candle here, though, and this thing can really move around. You really have a lot of air between 42.40 and 44.70. 44.70 was your 3-day high, and then I see a couple other highs at 45. But this is a thin one. Really likes to move around here. So if you're short, be careful. You can see this thing trading up near $45 pretty quickly. Your closing price Friday, 41.53. That was not quite the low close of the move, but that would be support if you go into reverse mode. Only this is not a heavily traded stock either. 792,000 shares traded on Friday.
Novartis had some positive data after the close on Friday, and this morning Goldman Sachs is not just upgrading them to buy, they're adding them to their conviction buy list.
Okay. Conviction
buy for Novartis.
Okay. We've seen that before. Up 93 cents at 88.68. So they like the news. Someone got really excited here at this would have been after hours on Friday. So I guess this came out today though, right? Okay.
The Goldman rating was this morning.
Okay.
Yep.
So
the data
that's no relevant print. But let's see, you're trading up 93 cents. If you don't want to fight Goldman Sachs here, you got a high to contend with. Pair highs, it's called 89.50 potential resistance. You had a high at 89.39, 89.53.
All right. Who was it here? Raymond James is making, not Raymond James. It was UBS is making a call on the retail brokerage space. They're upgrading TD Ameritrade to buy, and they are downgrading Charles Schwab to neutral.
Okay. TD Ameritrade up 68 cents at 53 even. This has just been hit. It's crawling its way back. I mean, you could say built a base around the $50 area and now is getting a little bit of a lift. Let's see, that 53 even print. 50 shares are trading there, so not a lot of volume. I've got a level I like. I like 53.18. That's your 3-day high. After that, boom, boom, things open up to the $54 area. And then they downgraded Schwab.
Yep.
Okay, Schwab trading down 47 cents at 46.49. You have a pair of lows right at the $46 area. 46.17 and 45.98. And just for me personally, I kind of, upgrade one, downgrade the other. And maybe too much to my detriment. I think things seem to go in the same direction here. So when I see these pair trades, I'm just
the industry peers tend to move in line, is what you're saying.
Yep. Banks, I mean, they have their gyrations and, their diversions and stuff. But when I see these kind of pair trades and stuff, I mean, they're right. I mean, these analysts are, following the companies a lot closer than I am. But just for me, things get going one sector, the banks, or besides particular news. I will say JD.com is getting a little bit of a lift here, only down 64 cents at 22.40 here at holding up on the low of the move. I'm not sure if there was any news to support that move, but we are getting a little bit of a lift. If you're looking for Friday's low for a gap fill, that's at 22.60. And your close on Friday was at 23.05. So a little bit of a relief rally here in JD.com.
Biggest gainer on my filters here this morning is Zayo Group, ZAYO. A report from Bloomberg last night said they received takeover interest from Blackstone and Stonepeak.
This is the jewelers, right?
Believe so, yeah.
Okay. Man, you talk about no man's land here. You gap down. I'm not sure if that was off earnings. You're in.
Oh no, this is infrastructure.
Oh,
this is fine. This is
different?
wireless. Yeah, this is wireless.
Okay. I have no idea what to
Telecom.
tell you this one. If you were caught in this downdraft here, you got a pre-market high at 26 even. You got a gap to fill all the way up to 30. I guess the only thing that I could say about this is, when you hear these kind of things, you want to hear confirmation from the company. You want to hear confirmation from Blackstone. You want to, this is a deal. Things are rumored. You want to see conviction or some kind of follow through. If you don't, these things tend to fade. Run it out and buying it here and chasing it on a rumor, sure, you can do that. But if in fact, boom, nothing's true, this could be right back at your closing price from Friday at 23.67. But if they do want to take it over, they're getting it a little bit of a discount. The stock made its all-time high in July at 39.66.
We do have some M&A this morning. Resolute Energy, ticker REN, is going to be acquired by Cimarex, ticker XEC, for $35 a share in cash. That brings the total deal value to $1.6 billion. We'll look at XEC first because they're hitting that one. They always do.
Hitting the acquirer, and they hit it pretty good, but we're off the pre-market low. We hit it down to 79.67, and we're just crawling back here. And got to get rid of that seller at 84. Since 8 o'clock this morning here, you've had a seller even before that. Boom. 8 o'clock bracket, your high was 84, just 84. Just got to get through the seller at 84. In order to reach the bottom of Friday's range, that was 87.74. Trading at a little bit of a discount here. 35 is the takeover price. Trading at 33 and a quarter. Maybe that's being attributed to. Is it all cash deal? Or is it cash and stock?
It's all cash.
I'm
sorry, it is cash and stock.
Yeah, so maybe the discount is in the lower price of XEC. The only thing that strikes my fancy here is this is the second takeover in this sector. We've had something last week, so maybe these companies are preparing for oil to be down here for quite some time, and they're trying some synergies here to reduce costs. So that's the only thing of note on this merger. Is
what was that deal last week? I think I may have missed it being out.
Oh man, I do not remember.
Okay.
I was so busy working, doing all your stuff last week. I can't remember. But,
all right. What about REN here?
REN,
going right
got
right,
a pop. It's not
yeah.
going right to 35 here, but you do have a little bit of a discount ahead of these deals, as you don't know when it's going to close or what else.
If.
Yeah, or if 35.55 is your pre-market high, that's $1.45 away from the takeout price. It doesn't seem like anybody thinks they're going to come in and top that bid as of right now. So, but keep an eye on your leader, XEC.
All right, Joel, it is 8:34, so we're going to take our only break of the day and grab our guest. That is Kenny Glick. He runs hitthebid.com. We'll be right back in a moment with Kenny. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. As promised, we are on the line with Kenny Glick. Actually, we're on Skype, and you can see him on the screen right now. Kenny Glick, founder of HitTheBid.com. Kenny, how's it going this morning?
As promised, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, wait a second.
Oh,
Here you go.
got him.
Coming on.
Come on, are you an amateur here? Do you have the show on in the background?
He does.
Don't you call radio stations?
It's like I'm calling FAN. Yeah,
Oh,
screwed
come
up.
on. You call in, you're supposed to turn down your radio. Gosh, I don't even know. Should we keep this guy on here? What should we do with him, Spencer? All right, let Spencer.
In his defense, he's probably upset about the Jets. So, we'll give him a pass there. Give him a pass. Kenny, what's on your mind this morning?
Just flew in from Vegas, and boy, my arm's tired. I was just in Vegas for the Traders Expo, and I don't want to dash anybody's hopes and dreams about going there to this massive event that's thrown every year. It's awful. It's the worst. There's maybe like 9 people there wandering around for free squishy toys and trying to figure out how to trade the UVXY. Where's that class? Where's that class? My psoriasis, honey. I thought they were giving out free T-shirts. It's the worst event I've ever seen in my entire life.
What?
2007, there had to be 2 floors of people jamming in there, ready to just chomping at the bit for education. Now it's like a ghost town, and the craziest thing is they pretend that there's something special going on there. But at least for about 3 or 4 hours, it wasn't too bad. But I just got back from Vegas. It was exciting. We did some singing and we did some dancing. But
tell us about the part. Tell us about the part that wasn't too bad.
The part that wasn't too bad was at the Thinkorswim booth. Okay, and they're not. I don't know if they're going to be there anymore, but I hang out at their booth pretty much the whole time I'm there, and I do my VWAP seminars, and they don't mind because I get a crowd around me. I talk about VWAP and how people should be using it a little bit more often than they do. And right there, while I'm doing my demonstration and talking about how, really what I was talking about was the thesis was the difference between a trader and an investor. And right there before our very eyes, Ameren, the only stock that I was still in any position, because I've been, getting out of my position since, September and whatnot. And Ameren came crashing down. So as I'm sitting there talking about the perils of investing versus trading, I'm bailing out of a stock that I was just telling people, you got to be in this thing. If it breaks 2250, it's going to 1,000. This is going to be great. Oh my God. I'm on the phone. Sell it, Mortimer. What the hell? And right there just showed you how quickly you need to react to survive in this business. I'm on the phone 1 second telling my dad, all right, the news is out. Looks like the stock's going to be above 2250. I think we should be buying it. Oh, wait a second. It's tanking in the pre-market. Let's get the hell out and save ourselves. And seriously, on the same phone call. And then as the stock was plummeting throughout the day, I was telling people how I never thought it would be at this level, but if it breaks this level, you got to be shorting it. And one guy was like, didn't you just tell us to buy it about an hour ago at 1950? I'm like, yes, I did. And now you got to get out. And that's trading. And it was probably the most exciting moment of my life to be right there in the heat of the moment, having to switch from loving something to absolutely hating something and saving my career right there live. It was very exciting.
Wow. That's actually wait. So what were the people saying when you said all of a sudden you switched from buy to sell or from bull to bear?
I said to him, listen, here's a stock that's been on a parabolic move. We were in from 1250, bought some more at 15, bought some more at 1750, and yeah, we were buying more at 20 and 2250, thinking this thing would look like it was headed to 2750, maybe 30, maybe all-time highs. I didn't really understand the fundamental story, nor do I ever really truly care about the fundamentals. But if they're going to keep reiterating the same story about their fish oil pill that people think is a new story, and they're going to keep tacking more points onto the stock, who am I to say, hey, the stock's wrong? But until they reiterated the story one more time and they started selling off on the news, then suddenly the trader in me took over. So I said, listen, this is now a sell on news situation. You got to get out. And the stock plummeted from about $26 to $13. And it was a little bit extreme. And it's back to $18 right now. But my God, it was really just a lesson in everything you need to know about trading, that your ego cannot get in the way. What you're looking at is what's really happening, and you have to be more reactionary in this market than ever. You don't need to speculate when you could just react to the market. And that was exactly what I was just saying. And then it started to happen right there. It was incredible. It was really like a spiritual moment. I'm not even joking around how what I was describing, how to survive in the industry, no more than maybe 20 minutes later was happening to me in real life, in real time. It was incredible. It was amazing. And, dumped it, saved that move to the downside, made some money on the move on the downside, and then we actually bought it back cheaper. And I was saying, hey, look, if a stock's going to tank 40%, why not try to time some of it, get out of a little bit and buy it back cheaper? Isn't that what this is all about? But everybody's blinded by long-term investing. Excuse me for a second. I got to answer the door here. Uh-oh. Oh, my God.
Wait, so what I wanted to what I was about to say there, Joel, and Kenny, I guess for that matter, is so wait, what do you do here? I've got the chart up on the screen. We're at 18. We're at 1850.
Where'd he go? We lost Kenny.
No, he's back. He's back. So
I'm back. Strange people. The Mormons showed up at my house. They come here all the time.
So 1850, Kenny, what do you do here?
Listen, right now I'm down to just call spreads. They're hedged. I still think the stocks, maybe that would have been the buying opportunity of a lifetime. But again, this market right now is providing everybody with opportunity that we haven't seen in a long, long time. We're getting 15-point moves in Apple every week now. We're getting massive moves in the diamonds and the Qs. I don't see the point in owning stocks right now ever again. Yeah, said it. Don't need to own stocks, because the whole point, how's that AMD working out for everybody, right? It's incredible, some of these stocks and what the destruction that they've, gone through. And if you're just trying to make money in this market, there's so much opportunity just to be liquid. Just pick your spots each day and then move on. My days have been over by 11:30, and this is the way I wanted it to be all along. I'm not a big fan of investing. I'm not a big fan of sitting in front of a computer all day. Using the VWAP and using these reversals that we've been doing for the last 20 years, if you could trade the first hour and a half of the day and move on, that's the life. And that's what we're back into right now. So until this market gets above some levels where it looks like we're back to that 2017 grinding higher every day, which I hope never comes, because I love this market. I really do. This is the greatest market ever. You're getting opportunity to make money every day. But, again, nimble and liquidity is the name of the game right now. And until the UVXY starts plummeting and going back to where it usually goes, I'm a fan of just being liquid right now. I have no concerns of any stock. And as far as Ameren is concerned, I couldn't care less. That thing breaks 1750 today. I'm shorting it again, and I'm going to crush it. And all you people for 25 years have been waiting for this moment with your fish oil and your cholesterol drug that you thought so much of. Listen, you know nothing. You know nothing. You don't know what their drug does. You don't know if it's going to be approved. You don't know if the scripts are going to get written. You don't know. It's not going to go back to $5 and sit there for 20 more years. You know nothing. The charts know everything. And that's, I bow to the charts. I'm a chartist. That's all I care about now. And that's all I'll ever care about for this time going forward. I'm telling you, my life has changed. I'm back.
You're a changed man. You are a
1999 Kenny Glick is back. No positions. Living the day and running from the market. At 11:30, I'm done.
Kenny, so I have to agree. The volatility here, we had that 2017 grind, and I know you had your bullish cap on, you just did not fight the market then. But I think I have to agree with you. With these 50, 60, average daily ranges in the S&Ps, things got to calm down a little bit, because with the increased volatility, the risk reward ratios are much different here. So just what are you looking for? Is it just going to look at the average daily ranges to calm down? Are you going to look for, the Fed? You can't, I know you don't rely any of your trading on that. Earnings have been halfway decent here. What do you think it's going to take to get a little normalcy back in this market?
No, as far as normal is concerned, okay, I like this. This is, to me, is a little bit normal, because you've been around, we've been around. markets used to be volatile. You'd have 3 up days and a nice pullback, and then maybe an average day the next day. The days of going up every day, I hope, are over, because that's not the way the market's supposed to work. We're not supposed to go up every day. So as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I don't think I'm going to take many positions anymore. The days of the Qs and the diamonds. And now, again, the family still owns the Qs. We love our Qs, even though they got smoked, over the last couple of months here. But individual, achievement awards every day. I'm looking for the same thing. And I love earnings season, because this is the kind of earnings season I love, that they're coming out with good earnings. The fundamentals are finally, again, if you're a fundamental investor, you've just learned a valuable lesson. They really don't mean much. Because if you look at Alibaba, the company makes more money, or supposedly they make more money than certain countries, and the stock has fallen on hard times. So if you're going to rely on fundamentals to do any type of investing, I hope your eyes are wide open right now, and it really doesn't matter. And again, for me, it's all about the setup that I have. Again, going back to what we were saying before, if you find something that works for you as a trader, do that, and only do that. So what I've gone back to, that's why I'm enjoying this market more than I've ever enjoyed trading since the beginning, when I started, 1998, 99. The same setup that was working, the morning, either something that's gapping up or gapping down, gather some strength and starts to trend higher, great trade for the day. Something that starts strong and starts to get weak in the middle of the day, it's a great short. And that's what I look for every day. No individual, I'm not a fan of any particular stock anymore. I'm just looking for those particular setups. For instance, I don't know, give me what's in the news today. I'll just tell you where it's going to go, because these levels I've been using right now are phenomenal. Well, what's the popular stock? I just woke up. I'm ready to rock and roll. You give me something. I'll tell you where it's going to be in 20 minutes.
All right. Well, I was actually about to ask you. I know it's a little, might be too early. It might be a dumb question because it's only 8:47 a.m. But what's on your radar? But let's just start with Apple, because that is the biggest news of the day, is that they cut their supply orders. So let's just look at a chart of Apple and tell us what you think.
The stocks are short until it breaks 191.45 today. I've been short. I had a put spread on last week, because if you looked at this chart, there was nothing in between 202.50 and 185. So I figured if it could break down under that 192 level, we're going to 185. So we had that move. Now we're kind of in limbo. So it's going to be, put up or shut up soon for Apple, because if it does roll over and breaks down under that 185 area, I think we go to 169. I'm not really bullish this market, even though seasonality is telling me that I should ignore everything. We're going to shake it all off, and then we're going to rally into Christmas and to the end of the year like we normally do. But I don't think that's going to happen without financials, without Apple and Amazon. I don't think Tesla is going to be the one that's going to lead this market into the promised land going into the end of the year. So I'm watching Apple. I've got 3 or 4 levels. I'm thinking about setting up that put spread again. If it can rally, I'm expecting it to roll over again. If this thing stays in a 15-point range for the next 3 or 6 months, that'll be fantastic also. But as far as Apple's concerned, I think that this is, again, I'm not the only one saying how Apple goes, so goes this market right now. Really, more than ever, I think. And if this thing needs to get down to that 185 level, show us that it can hold down there again, bounce, break back above the 195, get us back to 202, 205, then we're good. But for now, big fan of shorting Apple. Big fan of just looking for shorts right now. Just not excited to be buying anything right now until that UVXY, my precious, gorgeous, beautiful UVXY, plummets off the earth and gets just.
How about Facebook? You got to set up for Facebook in us today, trading down 97 cents here, 138.56.
Facebook's a short too. Until that stock stays above 141, I'm a shorter. Every level I have, I'm looking at something. What I've been looking at is on weeklies and monthly VWAPs, which have been steering me correctly this year like never before. This is same levels that on the way down when we broke them in September on the Dow Jones and the Qs. I'm looking for these levels to get back. If they don't get breached back on the upside, I'm still going to be, looking for shorts. And right now, this market's already telling me that it still wants to go down. And I get this concern. Again, everyone's asking me about oil. Who cares? Everyone's so concerned about oil. Let it go back to $30 a barrel. That's the end. The end user is all I care about. When it's too high, they say it's too high. When it's too low, it's too low. They're always going to complain about oil. Let oil go down to $30 a barrel and sit there for the rest of our lives. Just like your gold and your silver. Your silver's not going to be worth anything. Your gold's not going to be worth anything.
What about
your oil?
What about your cryptocurrencies?
Your cryptocurrency, there's only one that you need to know about. Tron.
What? Wait, I don't even know if that's a joke or not.
It is. It's a real one, isn't it? TRON. Where's it at?
TRX, baby. Come on, Jeff Bridges.
Okay. It's a movie. I wasn't sure if that was a real cryptocurrency or not, but okay.
It is a cryptocurrency.
It is? Oh gosh. Okay.
I'm still profitable in it.
Can't keep up. Kenny, how you getting these levels though?
Which ones?
Oh, the ones you gave for Facebook, like Apple. You said 190 and
it's his VWAP. It's his VWAP.
It's all VWAP.
I have VWAP levels. I have weeklies and monthlies. So right now, Facebook has been having a hard time staying above its 1 week levels. So until we get above here, I'll give you some more levels if you want. Seriously, if we don't get back above around this 142.70, which is only 4 points, I mean, that could happen today. I'm just not a fan of wanting to own stocks right now. But it's days like Monday. Last Monday was extraordinary. To think that I was trading Sunday evening long YM futures, and at the end of Monday, we were down 800 points. I can't even believe that was that happened, because the market was fine Sunday night, and it wasn't until Monday and we started to roll over till it got very exciting. So again, liquidity is the way to go, and I'm just revolving around earnings right now. So if you're reporting earnings, that's what I'm probably going to be trading. So who's reported anybody important, opening up this morning with some good earnings or bad earnings for that matter?
Well, we had JD.com this morning, but after the bell today, we have Intuit, Jack in the Box. We have a couple others. Where's my list here? Urban Outfitters. Nothing crazy. It is a light week on the earnings calendar. So we have retail. It's all retail, man. Costco's upcoming. We still have Nike. We still have TJ Maxx. So I don't know.
Nike's going to be big. This JD actually looks interesting right now, because this is the kind of stock that I like. Again, not the company. I don't even know what JD is. I know it's popular amongst traders. Don't know what they are. Don't care. But stock just bounced off, all-time lows. You kind of held it down there at 2150. So this is like a proving ground today. So if this hit can go to 2150 and hang in there, this might be not a bad idea to buy. But right now, it's right at it's right at your VWAP. So this is important right now. If you guys are in JD, if this thing breaks back below that 2140, bye-bye. Nice seeing you. You're going to 20, 1750, and then 0, whatever JD does. But if you hang in here and you get some momentum, this thing gets above $23, and then this would be a nice buy. If you could get this thing back above that it's like 26, then maybe you got something going on. But right now, this looks like another stock that's probably going to roll over. And everybody who thinks they knew about JD, you're so smart out there. You knew about JD. You read about it on Yahoo Finance. Oh, yeah, you got it in your retirement fund. Yeah, I bet you know a lot about it right now. But this thing looks like it's going to roll over. If it breaks 2150, good night. Cut it loose. It's going to 0. It's just the stock, people. How's that RKDA working out for you? How's that INNT working out? How's that QD working out for you? How's that BSTI working out for you? There's so many disasters out there. Don't be a victim in this market. Move on from your losers. You heard that one, right? Cutting them short and all that.
All right, Kenny, we got to let you go, buddy. Kenny Glick.
No!
Yes, Kenny Glick.
On.
You can be on. We could just tell you that you're not off. Kenny, great having you on. Owner and creator of hitthebid.com. On Twitter at hitthebidradio. Kenny, always great talking to you. Have a good holiday season. We'll get you on for sure after the new year.
Yo, listen, guys. I hope I insulted at least 5 or 6 of you out there.
I think you did.
Yeah,
I think you did. But we know you love us all. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
All right. that was Kenny.
Going. Let's see here. S&P futures, we had that little bit of a rally. We're just hanging out here. We're down 10 handles at 27.33. Your daily pivots right here at 27.33. Need to hold the low of the pre-market session here at 28.75. PCG continues to leak here, down $1.71 to 22.69. Looks like JD.com ran into a little resistance. We had talked about the low of the range from Friday. Friday's low came in at 22.60. That little bump that we just had took us up to 22.59. So you do have some people looking for the gap fill, Spencer. 4 minutes to go here.
Just
I
in
don't know how
time
I
for
can follow that up.
just in time for Dennis. Dennis, how's it going?
I don't even know how I can follow that up.
I know, man. He's a hurricane.
Kenny Glick, ladies and gentlemen. Kenny Glick. I was cracking up. I was listening to the show just in the background as I'm trying to trade a million positions there. I was like, I'm so distracted by Kenny, I can't even trade.
Oh, that's not good.
That's
not good.
Yeah, he's funny. Great guy, Kenny.
Joel's
We've
giving me.
had a lot of fun with him over the years.
Joel's giving me the rap signal like 10 minutes ago. I'm like, I can't get the word
We're
in.
like, oh man.
He someone in the chat here. I can't think
Make
of
sure
who
you
it-
read that disclaimer today, eh, Spencer? Read that disclaimer.
I got you.
We had it. Someone's like Joel.
Informational purposes only.
There's not too many people where I can't get a word in edgewise. I think that would be Lisa and Dennis. But besides that, man,
He's right there.
yeah, he shut me down. Dennis, holiday market here, shortened week. I mean, you want to think we're going to get the Turkey Day rally. It's just with your top component, Apple being down $4. What are you seeing over the last hour here in the pre-market trading?
I'm seeing a lot of, we had the little rally there about a half an hour ago, and we got up to scratch, and I was like, how are we going to go scratch on this? I mean, Apple's down huge, suppliers down huge. I see a lot of tech stocks down. So now we're starting to roll over, and it's funny how this market, is resilient to a certain extent. I mean, we've had a couple days here where we're starting to show some life, and then we just get slapped in the face with more bad news again. Like just when you thought it's safe to maybe start thinking about an Apple, maybe start thinking about a few of these tech stocks on the pullbacks here. It was a huge rally, like Applied Materials on Friday. Huge reversal. Stock was down 10% pre-market. Opened at the lows, rallied all day, closed green. I mean, you saw some life in a lot of different issues, none in NVIDIA at all. And there's certain stocks, like it's still stock pickers market because there's certain stocks that once they report, they just don't, and disappointing earnings, and it's crowded trade going in. It's going to continue to be weak for a while. But I mean, some of these beaten down value names, the ones with the lower PEs, have been starting to show some life. But then you come in here and you get slapped in the face with more bad Apple news, and the market's going to be down here again. So I don't know. I'm very torn in this market. It is, and what we've been saying, very difficult to call day to day here. Minute to minute is tough, but to say what's going to happen tomorrow is nearly impossible. And people are saying, "Oh, I've got this all figured out." They don't have it all figured out. I mean, this market from day to day is completely just headline driven. We get a China deal or something happens, and boom, we'll be up huge. If we have China talks break down, we'll be down huge. We have some earnings coming this week. They disappoint. Obviously, things can happen, but I mean, it's just so day to day. It's just so different. It seems like.
Yeah, and I just to echo that on Friday, we were starting to peel back, and I was thinking, man, I just got to set up a short for next week and just hold it, and then you get that tweet, about the China deal, and we rally 15, 16 handles just intraday out of nowhere, and then it fades off that. I mean, if you think about it, we've been in a trading range this year, albeit it has been a very big trading range here. A little bit of gridlock in Washington, perhaps for 2018. I mean, we've had a trading range from 2550 and we got it to 2900. So we've moved 400 points for the whole year. Whereas in 2017, you had just that quick, steady climb. I'm perhaps more of a trading range. Right now, you're smack in the middle of the trading range, right?
Yeah.
So it's
and sometimes you just gotta stand back and let's take a look at that. And yeah, we didn't make new lows in the last move. That's the good news. And we, China is starting to show some life here. And and we've also, Kenny was saying about JD.com. And, a stock like that that's beat up, it's kind of like Applied Materials. Beat up, it's been near the lows. I mean, he's right. If it holds those lows, maybe you try it for a shot. It takes out those lows, you don't want any part of it. But, that's one thing about Kenny. He's a funny guy, but he knows what he's doing. You know why he's different than everybody else? He cuts those losers. That was one thing he was pounding in everybody's head here this morning. But that's the one thing that I do too, is, and maybe not as well as I should on the investment portfolio, but on the trading side, I have zero tolerance for losers. I have Apple overnight. I had as an overnight trade. We know I've got 50 to 100 positions overnight. Just happen to have Apple long. I'm not going to sit on that long position and say, oh, I hope Apple comes back. I'm going to keep it in my long-term investment portfolio. But on my trading side, I'll be selling it. I've got to get out. I've actually sold some of it already this morning here. If it comes back, good for everybody else. But I don't play around with losers. I start to get out. And, sometimes people say, well, I was only wanting to lose $1. It's opening down 4. What do I do now? I got to hold it. No, I mean, it's just bad luck, but if your stop was at 192 and it's opening at 189.66, well, that's overnight risk. You still got to eat it. Like, follow your rules, stay disciplined in this market. It is a difficult market to swing trade in because everything's getting chopped around so much. But if you can catch on the right side, some different moves. But I'm still looking at the beaten down value names. Like, some of those names here have started to show some life, especially in the tech sector. So you had the Applied Materials turnaround, Micron turnaround. It's trading down because I had some bad news. But, the JD sets up not bad. So I might just take a nibble on that there too in the lower 22s and see if it can hold that 21.5. If it takes it out, okay, I'll lose 50 cents. If it, but if it pulls Applied Materials, it's a trade that could really work out. I had a little swing trade on IBM on Friday, where I had the low and I was like, it's starting to show a little bit of life. And then throughout the day, the market lifted and I was actually able to make a point on a swing trade, which, most of my trades are day trades right now, short-term scalps, where, I'm holding some for 5-6 hours. I consider that a swing trade for myself sometimes. But it's just a tricky market, guys. So if you're new to this, if you're struggling with it, reduce your size, cut back your size a little bit, get a feel for it, because this volatility is here to stay for a while.
All right, I agree with that. S&P's going off at the end of our show here, 27.30.5, down 12.5. Got to hold that pre-market low, 27.28.75. Friday's low down at 27.13 a quarter. Triple D, thanks for coming back on. Spencer, you want to wrap things up and preview
Yes,
Tuesday's
and
show?
as Dennis said, please remember that all the information from our show is for informational purposes only and not meant to be investment or trading advice. We just give our own opinions here. And on that note, thanks to everyone for joining us today. Thanks to Kenny Glick. Thanks to all of you in our chats on YouTube and premarket.benzinga.com. If you missed any part of our show, catch our podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Google Play. Just search for Benzinga or PreMarket Prep on any of those sites. And on that note, we'll be back with you folks tomorrow. Have a good day.